Hey everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a function that does 3 or more things. For example, when we click on something, I want it to do something. And when I click on it again, I want it to do one more thing, all right? And so on. So it's up to you how many functions you want to make, but I'm going to just show you the concept. So let's get started and let's change the title to multitasking in JavaScript. All right, in JavaScript. So this is going to be the video about multitasking, everyone. So inside of the body tag, let me just add an age1 here, and let's say multitasking. All right, and right below it, I'm going to add a button. So button, and this button will say do things. So do things. This will do things, all right? And let's give it an ID. I'll call it do things. So now, right below it, at the very end, right before the end tag, I'm going to use the script tag. So inside the script, we are going to use JavaScript. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the DOM to select that button. So to do that, I'm going to say constant, and I'm going to say my button. So my button equals to document.get element by ID, and we are going to say do things. Basically, we are going to copy that ID from here and paste it inside of there. All right, so we have that element stored inside of this variable name. Now we are going to make a function right below it. I'm going to say function do things. So do things, and if I open two curly braces inside of the function, you can change something. So let me use the DOM to select that multitasking age1. So I'm going to give it an ID, and I'm going to say, for example, my age1. All right, my age1. So let's select that. So I'm going to say constant my age1 equals to document get by ID my age1. All right, so we have selected that, and inside of the button, so you see right here, I have attached an event listener. When I click on it, it's going to call this function. So click, I call in this function. So inside of this function, what we are going to do is, I have to fix it. So const, just like that. All right. So inside of that function, we are going to do something. So let's add another function actually outside of it. So outside of it, I'm going to make change font. All right. So this function will change the font size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my age1, so the name of that variable, all right, dot style dot, and right here you see we have all of these properties that we can change. So I'm going to say dot style dot font size, so font size equals to, let's go about 20 pixels. All right, and inside of this function, we are going to call this function. So why did I have a different function? Well, we'll get to the point later. So now I'm going to basically copy this and paste it here, the name of the function. So now if I click on do things button, you'll notice that it has changed that to 20 pixels. So now let's change this, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change this, and let's add another function. So I'm going to say change font 40 pixels, for example. So it will go from let's go from 40 pixels to 60 pixels. However, now if I add change font 40 pixels, if I call it here, you'll notice that it's going to run this one first. So it's going to run the first one and then it's going to run this one. So if I click on it, you'll notice that it becomes 40 pixels. How are we going to make this run like one function, for example this one, and then when I click on do things again, it's going to apply the second function. There is an easy way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to basically add the name of the function. So we are going to add the names of our functions inside of an array. So to do that, I'm going to say, for example, right above the function, I'm going to say constant. I'm going to name it actions, all right? Because this will be all of our actions, then equals to, and open two brackets. So inside of the array, we are going to add the name of our functions. So this will be change font, comma, and change font 40, all right? So make sure you add quotations, just like that. So if I had more functions, I would have to add all of them, but I have two, so I'm going to keep it like that. Okay, so this is what we have. We have all the name of our functions inside of this actions variable, all right? So inside of this array, we have listed the names of our functions that do things. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically declare a click count. So I'm going to add a variable that will count my clicks. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let click counts. So click counts equals to 0. All right, so this will record my clicks basically. So let click count equals to 0. Now it's time to make an if statement inside of this function, the do things function. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going inside of that, I'm going to get rid of those calls from that function. And now if I click on do things, it will not do anything. Okay, so inside of the do things function, we are going to make an if statement. So I'm going to say if, open two parentheses and two curly braces, just like that. So inside of the if statement, what we are going to do is that we are going to make a condition, all right? So we are going to say if click counts, so if click counts is greater than or equals to actions dot length, all right? So if it's greater than or equals to the actions length, we are going to set the click count to 0. So click counts equals to 0. So what this does is that it's going to go, it will go back to the first action. Now, right below it, what we are going to do is we are going to add the actions here. So I'm going to say actions, all right, and then open two brackets. Then we add click counts, and right outside we are going to add two parentheses and a semicolon. And now, right below it, we are going to say click counts plus plus. So this will increment the click counts. This is our action. So now if I click on do things, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so I'll have to make sure that I remove these quotations. So you see, I told you guys to add the names of the function inside of this make a string, so this is incorrect. So just add the name of the function inside of the action, just like that. Don't add quotations around the name of the functions. So just add, the name of the function, just like that. So now if I click on do things, you'll notice that it's going to change it. And now if I click on do things again, it will go to the second function. So now it's 60 pixels. And now if I click on it again, it's going to go back to the first one and, the second one. So this is a good way of running a function based on different clicks. So this is our code, everyone. And I'll share the code with you all. You guys can download it whenever you want to take a look at the code, and you can do whatever you want. Let's say that we want to add one more action. So if you want to add an action here, so one more action, you can copy a function from here. So let's change this one to 80 pixels. Alright, so this will be change font 80 pixels. So I just changed the name of the function. So now all I gotta do is just copy the name of the function and place it inside of the actions. So comma and paste it there. So now if I refresh it, you'll notice that the first thing that it's going to do is that it's going to run the function, the change font. So the first one, you see now it's 40 pixels. If I click on it again, it's going to be 60 pixels. So now it's 60 pixels, and one more time, it's going to run the last one. So you see it's 80 pixels now. And now if I click on it again, it's going back to the very first one. So one more click, and we are back to the first one. You can use this code to even add like an image slideshow. For example, you could have an image, and whenever you click on it, it will change the source based on the clicks. So I'll show you that in the next video. But I hope you liked the video, everyone, and I hope that it was not very hard for you all. So I will see you all in the next videos. Thanks for watching.